back to another video, and today what we're going to be doing is fixing some coolant lines on the GTR. These are getting kind of really dry rotted, and going to the tail of the dragon at the end of October, so I kind of want to do a bunch of pre-maintenance stuff and make sure that it's ready and I don't break down 4 hours away, because that would suck. So we got some, as you can see, we just went to O'Reilly's and got some Valvoline Asian vehicle, which covers Mazda, Nissan, Kia, and Hyundai. Not sure why Kia and Hyundai are. It's kind of a Korean brand, but we're going to do that. And while I get bit by mosquitoes, because it's so lovely out, we are also going to be replacing those hoses with some Z1 silicone RB26 kit. $8, it's not bad. It's a little expensive for just two hoses, an upper and a lower. And we already have the Koyo radiator that I put in there. So let's pull the battery, pull the shroud, and then pull the radiator just to give more room, because we're also going to be installing a PRP LS1 alternator kit. I already have one installed, but the bracket is really messed up some reason, but they warranted it. So we're going to put that on, and I also have a new alternator because I'll insert a video now. As you can see, for some reason the voltage keeps going up and down. It goes from 14 to 16 volts, and it's too much. I've heard LS alternators can do a bunch of weird things, but it shouldn't be doing that. And all my grounds are fairly good. There's no more than like 5 or 6 ohms to the chassis, so I'm not too sure. The voltage regulator is internal on the LS alternators, depending on the style. So I'm going to try to throw a new one on it. Maybe it burned through it. It's under warranty, so if anything I can just replace it. So yeah, let's get to it. So far, we have just got the radiator out. You have to take the radiator out if you want to take the bracket off for the alternator, for the PRP LS1 alternator kit. The two Allen head bolts are mounted to the water pump bracket, or water pump itself, and they're fairly long bolts, so you have to take the clutch fan off. It's 4 10mm bolts. But you have to put that inside of the fan shroud if you still have your shroud, and you should. And then you have to pull the radiator, fan shroud, and fan all up at once. So we did that. Obviously drain all your fluids. I already did it, but you're going to have a bolt here, which is somewhere down there. And then you're going to have one here, which is actually your tensioner that slides through your fine adjustment. But problem with that is this is the second one I've gone through. You can see where it's cracking. It's only, let's say, a 1/16 inch thick, maybe maybe an 1/8 thick aluminum. But whenever you torque this down, even to like 50 foot-pounds, I mean, it's an alternator, so you have to make sure it's not going to move, or else your voltage isn't going to be right. It keeps pulling that through, and it'll break. So I have to contact PRP again and have them warranty this. Granted, they didn't have an issue at the first time, but I don't know. This needs to be thicker, and then this either needs to be TIG welded, or this shouldn't be like this. Like this is an engine #1 engineering fault kind of thing. But it is what it is. Now I've already made. I did this when I first installed it, but I made a loom. I just have to find where it went. A positive charging loom, which is right there. It's tied into distribution block right here, along with all the positives from the fuse box, and it runs to the back of the alternator. So this should be loose. I'm gonna pull this out now. Granted, you don't gotta take all the other belts off. You just have to do that.
I'm going crazy, I don't know what I should do. I keep dipping, but you stick to me like glue. Try to listen, but all that keep coming. Try to listen, but all that keep coming. I'm going crazy, I don't know what I should do. I keep dipping, but you stick to me like glue. I try to listen, but all that keep coming. I try to listen.
And we're back with a continuation of the same video. Then we got the Z1 silicone hoses. Turn the flashlight off here. And then we got a new alternator, but we have to transfer pulley to this one. When she says she likes bad boys, if you know, you know. That chrome socket boy. Had a little difficulty getting the lower hose on, but a good thing of what you can do is just take a little bit of, like, I guess you could say Armor All, and spray it on the inside and then spray it on the outside of the housing, and it just goes boop and slides right on. And for the alternator, as you can see, this is the adjustment bracket. This is torqued to like 32 foot-pounds, which is really low, surprisingly, but whatever. So, did that. Originally, when I put that on, it was way higher than that. So somehow it didn't mess it up, but whatever. And as you can see, the short end needs to be pointed to the end. And then this is your adjustment screw. But you also have to make sure this one's loose. And then you can get it kind of taut, which this is loose. That needs to be able to go about there and then snap back. So I have to tighten this down. And then if you need fine tooth adjustment, you have this. I really wish they would put a locking nut on here. This is a special thread, so you can't get a locking nut. And that way, because sometimes this seems like it comes loose, but that is that. And then your positive cable goes there. I got that tightened down. Lower Z1 silicone hose is there and ready for the coil radiator. Upper is here. I gotta clean this up. I cleaned that. And yeah. Now I just gotta put the clutch fan and radiator and shroud back in, and I'll be ready to top her off with some Valvoline.